He doesn't talk over, doesn't overshare. Sam Elliott simply sits back and listens. And when he talks, it sticks. When he calls someone out, he means it. For more than half a century, Elliott has represented a different Hollywood, quiet power, old-fashioned values. That iconic mustache may draw the eye, but the man beneath it is solid steel, and he doesn't give compliments out cheaply. So when he lists his 6 favorite actors, it's not hype or headlines, it's legacy. These are the types of actors who don't require noise to fill the screen, but rather have silence speak louder. From High Noon to Tombstone, The Big Lebowski to 1883, Elliott's body of work transcends eras, but one thing never differs. He knows the real ones. The ones who arrive, get the job done, and leave without expecting a hand. And when Sam calls you one of the best, it's not flattery, it's durability. He's worked with legends, learned from the rest, and few have ever made him pause and say, yeah, that's the real deal. Number 1, Gary Cooper. Some actors enter a scene. Gary Cooper fell into one, as if he'd belonged there his whole life. Sam Elliott didn't want to become a movie star as a kid. He wanted to become that sort of man. The sort who doesn't have to speak loudly to get attention. The sort of presence that can get by on an entire film without budging an inch. Elliott has said, if I learned anything from Gary Cooper, it's that you don't have to say much if you mean everything. That wasn't flattery, it was a code for life. Sam Elliott, long before he ever wore a cowboy hat on camera, watched Cooper wearing one in real life. High Noon, The Westerner, Sergeant York, these weren't movies, they were studies in restraint, quiet, and the sort of gravitas you can't learn. High Noon especially lingered with him. Elliott saw it as a child. Black and white, High Noon sun, one man against the town, the clock, and his own fear. Cooper didn't scream or cry. He simply stood there, upright and tormented, and used silence to convey. Sam recalled it afterward as the performance that taught me how to listen. Cooper didn't play a man on the brink. He was. All uncertainty, anguish, and responsibility came across in not a moment wasted. That self-control became Elliott's guiding star. Because Cooper never pursued applause, never munched scenery. He allowed the story to breathe and dissolved into it. Elliott's own directors would come to describe him as a rock, the backbone, a ghost with weight. That genetic makeup was pure Cooper. And it wasn't necessarily about performance, it was about philosophy. Cooper never compromised integrity for flash, never made the cheap shot. Even in his more tense roles, there was always a code of ethics beneath the charm. Sam's work exhibits that same compass. He never tries to act cool, he acts real. And to this day, whenever he gets on a set, there is that Cooper ghost hovering in the background. Elliott does not boast of his career, but there is one name that still makes him hesitate and lower his voice just a bit, Gary. Because some actors shift in industry. Gary Cooper shifted Sam. Number 2, Clint Eastwood. Some actors adapt to the times. Clint Eastwood lasted longer than they did. Sam Elliott isn't afraid to say it. He regards Clint as a standard, not only for westerns, but for what it's like to get older in this industry and remain sharp. He didn't reinvent himself, Sam once explained. He just kept going until everyone else had to catch up. It's not only the roles, it's the control, the authority. Eastwood doesn't stride into a scene. He appropriates it, never appearing to try. Sam has a respect for that because there's something in Clint's eyes. At least there has been since the beginning. Cold calculation and weathered truth. The man behind Unforgiven, Gran Torino, Mystic River. He isn't seeking legacy. He's forging it one subtly great performance at a time. Elliott saw the good, the bad, and the ugly in theaters. And then again, and again. But it wasn't until Pale Rider that it clicked. It was the silence, he told me. The way Clint makes space more deafening than noise. They've never appeared together on screen, yet they don't have to. What Elliott admires in Eastwood is something greater than partnership. It's an understanding. Same school, same tacit code. Both emerged from the ground, worked their way in the back door. No nepotism, no hype, just time, patience, and consistency. Both learned early that Hollywood values quantity, but remembers restraint. And Clint had it down pat. He never played men who were so desperate to be accepted. He played men who already knew who they were and didn't care if you could deal with it. That hit Sam hard. Because if you can talk without speaking, if you can command a room without moving, you're not just an actor anymore, you're a presence. Clint Eastwood never yelled. He just looked, and the world paid attention. And Sam took notes. Because you can pretend to be charismatic, you can pretend to be cool, but you can't pretend to command. Number 3. Katharine Hepburn. Most wouldn't think she's on Sam Elliott's list, but that's precisely why she should be. Katharine Hepburn never asked for respect. She commanded it. And Sam, a man who made his living from quiet strength, recognized something unusual in her. A woman who didn't pander, didn't flatter, didn't soften to anyone's mold. She was brighter than any man in the room. Sam once put it this way: Hepburn didn't just hold her own. She led. No matter if it was Cary Grant, Spencer Tracy, or Jimmy Stewart, she never played second string. She played equal footing. And that sort of power Sam never forgot. He said, the best actors are the ones who leave no wasted movement, no wasted word. Hepburn never wasted a breath. Every beat considered, every silence purposeful. In either the Philadelphia Story or on Golden Pond, she used dialogue as a weapon, never had to bellow. Sam's respect wasn't professional, it was personal. He once referred to her as the toughest presence in soft packaging. She taught Hollywood that strength doesn't require a drawl and a gun. It can walk in wearing slacks, chin high, and command the room without an apology. That's what remained with Sam. Because if you get past the mustache, the gravel voice, the boots, Sam Elliott's entire career was predicated on that same code. Show up. Talk when it counts. Let the work speak. Hepburn lived that code before anyone had a name for it. There's a shot in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner where she simply looks, no movement, no line, but judgment in her eyes could have shattered granite. That was the force Sam studied, that kind of presence he pursues. Katharine Hepburn didn't simply blaze a trail. She incinerated one and invited everyone to follow. And Sam never attempted to pursue her. He simply ensured he walked in the same direction. Number 4, Daniel Day-Lewis. Sam Elliott doesn't use the word genius lightly, but when talking about Daniel Day-Lewis, even Sam is speechless. That man doesn't act, he once said. He disappears. And that's the essence of it. Elliott spent his entire career portraying real men, men with heft, reserve, and simmer-burn presence. But Daniel Day-Lewis does more. He doesn't just enter a character. He disappears into it. Sam first paid attention during My Left Foot. What impressed him was not the performance per se. It was the patience, control, complete lack of vanity. No flash, no wink at the audience, only raw immersion. Then there was The Last of the Mohicans, and that's when Sam got up close. I don't know how a fellow from London convinced me that he'd grown up in the woods, he joked at one time. But I purchased every other. For Sam, truth on screen isn't accuracy, it's heft. And Daniel Day-Lewis never floats. He sinks deep into the marrow of whoever he's portraying. Lincoln, Daniel Plainview, Reynolds, Woodcock, they don't feel acted, they feel summoned. Sam regards that as sacred. He once described watching Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood as akin to watching a slow-moving storm arrive. You can't hold it back. You don't have the guts to stop it. You sit there and you endure. That's the kind of work Sam has faith in. No shortcuts, no ego, no parachute. Just pure emotional abandonment, no matter how long that lasts. And then, poof, he's gone again. No red carpet disease, no press junket, just a man who arrives, ignites the screen, and disappears into silence. Sam respects that more than just about anyone because in this industry, attention is money. And Day-Lewis doesn't appear to be interested in spending a cent. He's proof that stillness can be terrifying. Sam once quoted, and that truth doesn't need to yell. That's why Daniel Day-Lewis is on the list. Because Sam doesn't require charisma. He requires conviction. And Day-Lewis doesn't act roles. He leaves ghosts behind. Number 5, Sam Shepard. This was not admiration at a distance. This was intimate. Sam Elliott did not simply admire Sam Shepard. He felt him. In the words, in the pauses, in the places between lines most actors scramble to occupy. Shepard did not occupy them. He gave them air. You don't act next to Sam, Elliott once said. Elliott sits in his weather. They collaborated on the High-Low Country, one of those movies that humans forget, but the humans in it do not. Shepard was a playwright, a poet, a man who knew more about human failure than most therapists. The first day on set with Shepard, Elliott recalled, was like entering a room that already had a narrative in mind. His characters didn't yell. They shattered with discretion. They hurt with quiet. That sort of storytelling is precisely the rhythm Sam Elliott has spent his entire career striving to get right. Shepard conveyed that rhythm naturally, and he took it off screen as well. He wasn't the loudest mouth around the table. He didn't overtake scenes, but when he talked, everything else froze. He possessed that uncommon ability, one Elliott knew the moment he met him. Still authority. We didn't have to say much, Sam explained. We understood. They weren't close buddies. They didn't exchange vacation pictures. But they had mutual acknowledgement. Two guys wired the same, grounded in humility, leery of ego, committed to the work. And when Shepard died in 2017, Elliott didn't give a great eulogy. He simply referred to him as irreplaceable. That was all. Because that's how Sam mourns, quiet, forceful, decisive. Shepard's work informed Sam about what it meant to be masculine, vulnerable, and restrained. His performances licensed emotion without having to perform. His presence kept actors in mind that mystery often trumped monologue. Sam has a short list, but Shepard is on it because whenever Elliott sets foot onto a set and allows a pause to linger 1 second longer, you sense it, Shepard's present. Number 6, Jeff Bridges. Some actors gel. Jeff Bridges did. Sam Elliott and Jeff Bridges didn't merely collaborate, they locked. The Big Lebowski wasn't a buddy movie origin story, it was validation. Both men had gravel voices, relaxed timing, and no ego. And it worked because neither had to prove anything. He doesn't chase the scene, Sam once said. He settles into it. Bridges is among the handful of actors Sam calls loose in the best way. Not sloppy, not checked out, just loose. He arrives with a full tank, but never lets you know how he's going to drive. And that spontaneity? Sam loves that. Their scenes in The Big Lebowski weren't loud. They were lived in. That bar-counter conversation, half of it was in the pauses. Jeff never filled space. He honored it. And Sam used that tempo like it was jazz. They've run into each other more than once since, always with the same vibe. No drama, no image maintenance, just two pros who still enjoy making films. Sam's even said Bridges is the only actor who's made him laugh, cry, and rethink a line all in the same scene. Not many people make Sam Elliott smile when he hears their name. Jeff does. Because beyond the beard, beyond the legend, Bridges brings one thing Sam values more than anything else: ease. Sam Elliott never raised his voice to get your attention. And the actors he adores, they never had to either. They didn't just act. They bore something. Stillness, gravity, a sort of quiet weight that is not a result of training. It is a result of truth. No tricks, no hype, but presence. Whether it was Gary Cooper clutching the future of a town in his reserve, Katharine Hepburn cutting through a room with mere posture, or Jeff Bridges making a bar stool an acting lesson in rhythm, each of them made Sam feel something without ever quite reaching. These weren't favorites. They were testaments to the fact that you don't have to be loud to make an impact. You just have to mean it. Which surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you'd like to get early access to future deep dives such as this one, hit like, subscribe, and consider joining the channel. Because the next list, that one's even quieter, but heavier.